to BSG Online number 7. I'm Zonris. I will be hosting the next 3 games. Pleasure to be here. We're raising money for Mind, a charity focusing on mental health issues, so please remember to donate. And before we head over to the current run, which is going to be Antichamber, I want to remind everybody that we are having a donation incentive for this game right here. It's a any % showcase after the run, and currently we're still missing a little bit towards that goal. So this is a very short run, so please get your donations in fast. And yeah, with that, I'll hand it over to the runner, which is going to be Ozmourn, who's going to show us Antichamber. So yeah, take it away, friend.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ozmourn. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Zonris. Today we're going to be playing Antichamber 100%. It is a very quick run, especially for a completionist category such as 100%. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I have a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to talk about it. And so if you can keep up with me, great job, because I can barely keep up with myself. And what constitutes 100% in this game? Well, first off, as you can see, there's trackers on my screen. Below my face cam, there is a map, which is all of this. We got to complete the entire map. There's a blue grid signifying all 120 signs that we see behind me. At the bottom left corner of my game screen, there is a pink grid that will collect and track all 13 pink cubes. And then there is also a total completion counter, a percentage on the bottom left corner of my screen as well, just below the pink cube screen. And all of that combined will create 100%. All of these things that we're collecting together have their separate categories, but we're going to combine them all here today. And to do that, as you can see, this is what the counter and the game is going to look like when we have finished. But first, we need to restart. I hope you enjoy seeing those fill up. It's always very satisfying. But as the game says, every journey is a series of choices. The first is to begin the journey. So we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So Antichamber is a puzzle platformer. It doesn't have a plot at all. No matter what plot you make it out to be, it does not. It is just puzzles. It is pure puzzles that drops you in. And the first thing we need to do is get the blue gun. The blue gun is the worst gun in the game. However, the main thing that we've done in this category is route it till we get the red gun as fast as possible, which is the best gun in the game. Right here is our first introduction to pink cubes. There are 13 of them total. You have to get this one first, otherwise you won't be able to get it later. And they will only move if you have your crosshair on them, and you need to lead them to where they need to go at the end of the room in order to count them as collected. So a lot of the puzzles in this game focus on your spatial positioning. It's actually where you are in relation to everything else and what way you're facing. For example, that door over there, as demonstrated by me messing it up, I could only go through it if I was not looking at it. And so that's a perfect example of the spatial awareness that you need to have for this kind of game. And another thing that we need to do is that I do a lot is look at the percentage counters to see where I get certain triggers. Right now I waited for it to turn to 11.6%. And then that's how I knew that I could exit to main menu and go to another part of the map. And you're going to see me do that a lot, exiting to the menu and going to the different part of the map straight from the hub, because it's faster than walking there myself. For example, everything that I'm collecting right now during these stairs portion, I could technically do all at once without exiting to menu, but the small amount of time loss, the small amount of time save that you get from exiting to main menu is it adds up throughout the run. Right here, we are going to get a bit of a staring contest with this eyeball. The eye will only disappear if we stare at it for 15 seconds, but as we did that, we walked backwards and got another sign and map trigger back there. Right here, we're going to do leapfrog. There is a skip for this, but I suck at it, so we're just going to do leapfrog by itself. The skip is to open the door and have it be blocked before it comes down by a cube right here. Right here, we're going to get the green gun. The green gun is a very short-lived gun. We're not going to use it for a long time, and it allows us to collect multiple cubes at a time. However, what we have most importantly going on right here is our first introduction to lag glitch. What I'm doing right there is I'm actually pressing F11 really quickly in order to go in and out of windowed mode of the game, and that will purposefully cause lag and put us into a weird state where for some reason the game doesn't read us as going through certain triggers. For example, the laser that we got through that should have closed the door, and we could just go straight through it, and it was only possible in that lag state. Right there is a third pink cube, and what I'm going to be doing right here is actually a warp. If I could, do the strat correctly and open this door. Yes. And what a warp is, essentially the game really doesn't like it when you and an object take up the same space. And so what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to create a little bit of lag state, and I'm going to shoot cubes next to where a spawn point would be. It's covering up the spawn point of that level, and when you try to enter that level through that spawn point, the game is just like, we can't put you here, there's cubes here. And so it'll put you back into the lobby with a gun, and it puts you in a really weird state where if you just right click on any part of the map that you want to go to that's an actual location, it will just transport you there. It's a very weird state. I don't know exactly all of the specifics behind it, but that's how it works. Shout out to the only RNG portion of this run. Those orbs will only move if you move, but the direction that you move in is kind of random. But luckily we got pretty good RNG there, and we didn't have to exit the menu and retry that, because that's what usually happens when you get bad RNG. Another instance of lag glitch right here. I did it a bit too early though. Again, too early. Much better. There we go. And now we're going to use the mechanic that we got from the yellow gun, I forgot to mention, was being able to do that. Just moving cubes freely, like that. And then grabbing all the cubes in a group, and then creating groups of cubes like the way that I'm doing now is a function of the red gun that we just got. What we're doing right now is tower clip. We're just making a small tower of cubes, around 3 cubes high, and then using it to push ourselves through the wall. We're going to see me doing that twice. Usually the intended way of going through these towers is there's a towers numbered 1 through 7, and going through each tower requires you to go through specific puzzles. But in terms of like level geometry, they're actually right next to each other in physical space, so we can just clip through the walls to get there. And right here we're going to get the 4th pink cube of the run by riding that cube up using the function that we got from the yellow gun. We're going to turn around here, and we actually need to walk forward to grab a map trigger that we need to get later on. And these little like gel areas are like, first off, another tower clip right here. But those little gel areas that you saw me get, then move the cubes through. If any of these areas, like this one right here, is actually going to make all the cubes in your gun disappear like this. And so sometimes you have to move the cubes through manually like that. And you might have seen me jump in midair when that happened. And the reason that happened was because for some reason in Antichamber, it has this weird glitch where you can actually jump in midair if you haven't jumped if you walk off a platform without having previously jumped, just the way that I did right there in order to have shoot the cube right underneath me. I'm going to wait right here until it turns to 48.9, and then we're going to go to tower number 5 to get to this area. Instead of using tower clip, we're going to ride this tower up. Again, use the jump glitch to jump in midair. That only works if you haven't jumped off of if you walk off of a platform without having jumped off of it. All right, and right after that, we're going to go to just a little bit shy, and we're going to get a sign and map trigger. Use lag glitch again to, ooh, I've actually never messed that one up before. Much better, okay. That's interesting. Right here, what we're going to be doing is going and filling up these lasers right here to get a sign at the other side of this door. We're going to move the cubes to get that laser open up this door, grab all the cubes here. And an interesting thing about the yellow gun mechanic is that when you tell a certain amount of cubes to move somewhere, like I am doing right now, they will not always go into the exact direction that you tell them to go to, but rather just go into a general direction until something stops them. For example, I'm telling them to go right here, but they'll just keep traveling until they get stopped by that laser right there. And so we can just use that to walk through here. I'm going to make a cube of lasers right here so I can touch the laser, a row of cubes right there so I can touch the laser before I get close to it. So I can just keep moving while the door opens up. using the function of the yellow cube right here. And you probably see me going through those cube barriers and still being able to shoot a cube despite me having cubes in my gun. The reason that happens is because of a glitch called cube chambering, where in those areas where where the game is supposed to get rid of all your cubes, you can actually just cube chamber through them, and it's the easiest glitch in this game, where you just right click, hold down right click, hold down left click, and then let go of right click, and you can shoot a cube. Around this time is where I like to talk about the little rebindings that we have. For example, I have shoot rebound to scroll wheel down. I have grab rebound to scroll wheel up. I have escape rebound to Q, and I have F11 rebound to E. So with the different things that we've allowed in order to, not have to reach all the way across the room or all the way across the keyboard to grab a specific button, that, and with also the resources that we have in this game, we definitely prioritize replayability and fun with this speedrun, because there's just so much going on to it. You want to be making sure that you have resources to track what you're doing, and you're not, reaching all the way across the keyboard in order to grab it, in order to perform certain functions. Right here is supposed to be the Logic 101 sequence. It is the tutorial sequence technically of the game, and the reason that you probably notice that some of the cubes here are color-coded, it's color-coded based on whatever gun the game thinks you should be having at this moment. So for example, the game thinks that we should be having the blue gun right now, but we actually have the red gun. Right there, I did a little bit of glitch where if you grow a series of cubes and run into it, and it gets you a bit of like boost downwards. We're gonna cube chamber a cube through here and use it again in the scene change to open up this door. Turn around to an area that wasn't there before, as the game does. And then, actually, what does this sign say? Don't look down. Oh, well, we're gonna look down anyway. We're about halfway through the run. Believe it or not, it's very quick. I hope you've been keeping up, because I can barely keep up with my talking. My goodness, I'm getting parched. Right here, we are going to go to taking baby steps. We're going to get a bit of harder movement. We're going to get into some of the harder movement in this run. I'm going to walk down here and get what I believe to be the 8th pink cube of the run. It's the 8th pink cube of the run. We're going to go up here to and then we're going to use the cubes from to make us a little bridge across this area. Oh, and I messed it up, but it's fine. We can just retry. It's not the end of the world. Didn't grow the cubes out far enough. There we go. Now we're going to grab those same cubes and use them as a wall to block our movement so that we can just fall down here and solve this area. The way that this puzzle works is that essentially, whenever you get rid of a cube and then another cube takes its place, the cube will never come back because the game still thinks the cube can't take up a place of another cube. Right here, we're going to exit to menu and just go to hiring a wall and go up these bouncy pads. Going to move a cube right here. Right here is a good example of whenever you split a group of cubes into two, the smaller group will actually just disappear. So that's why the wall behind me disappeared right there. And this is a very cool sequence that we have right here. We have these circles that you have whenever you walk backwards and face the circles, they will just, whatever's behind you will just immediately disappear. Then we have this up down sequence that's a lot of fun. And then we're gonna just walk backwards, and then we're actually going to quickly shoot and let go of some of these cubes. We did do hub storage, and I'll explain exactly what hub storage is later. And then we are going to cube chamber one cube through here, and we're going to grab the rest of the cubes that we got. There's a little crack in between this wall that we can actually use to get these cubes. We grab 3, so we can just, and we opened that door up and got a sign. We're gonna grab 3 and then cube chamber another cube through here. We're gonna go to Stairway to Heaven. We're gonna walk backwards so we can grab 1 cube from the other end of the hallway right there. We're gonna drop down here and stick to this corner so that the elevator doesn't walk us all the way down so we can get a map trigger. And then we're going to do elevator clip, and it's exactly as simple as it sounds. You clip through the elevator by setting a cube underneath you as the elevator is riding itself up, and the cube will be like, oh, we don't want you to go up anymore, so we'll just clip you through. Also, I forgot to go back into windowed mode right here. That was weird. We're gonna grab a map trigger that we're gonna come back to later, and we're gonna fall down here, fall underneath the elevator, and get this cube. Gonna ride the elevator up. I said we're gonna ride the elevator up, or ride the cube up, I should say. We're gonna bring these cubes right here, build them on the other side so we can grab them right here while walking backwards. Stop that giant, oh, excuse me. Dang. Stop that giant cube from moving so that the elevator also stops at the bottom of that room. We're gonna fill up these two lines over here with cubes all the way down. Oh dear. I didn't have enough cubes there. Could you believe it? And, oop, come on. There we go. Okay, I was looking at my tracker there, and we did get enough cube. We did get that map trigger. You have to do the gum glitch in order to drop down to that small little area without having to, drop all the way down there. You can just get short enough to grab the sign trigger and then move on with your day. We're gonna go through jumping through hoops to get 2 more signs right here, timing our jumps at the peak of that elevator's height. And then right here, we're gonna have 2 examples of the same puzzle, but it's technically supposed to be solved in 2 different ways because one has the green gun cubes and the other one has the red gun, but we're gonna solve them the exact same way because we already have the red gun. So we can just be OP and solve them the faster way. We're going to cube chamber through this cube through here. We're gonna ride it up. And when we get to the top here of this board, we're gonna jump here and then walk backwards so that the scene around us doesn't change and we don't get transported to a different room. And then we're gonna move these cubes to their respective lasers on this one. Sometimes I gotta back up in order for the cubes to go where they wanna go or where they should go because it's a bit finicky in that puzzle sometimes. Again, the same puzzle except with red cubes. We're going to fill up this entire section, fill up this corner full of cubes as well as that one. Use a jump glitch. Oh, of course I messed it up because why wouldn't I? We're gonna try that again. Perfect. Again, fill up this corner with cubes, fill up that corner with cubes. There we go. Use a jump glitch to get through here. And then grab these cubes again, make a small tower of cubes, 4 cubes high. I said 4 cubes high, excuse me, thank you. And then we're gonna fill up this giant cube, excuse me, that's not what I wanted. Fill up this giant cubes with 3 walls of cubes. I'm saying the word cubes too often, it's lost all its meaning at this point. And then we're going to get rid of these cubes through here by having them come into contact with the cube barrier. And now we're going to perform the second warp of the run. Let's see how it goes. Yes? No. Let's try that again. Second try? Yes? No. Third try? Come on, guys. That should work. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Unfortunately, we did not get hub storage with it, but we do have a backup for it. Essentially, the way that hub storage works, as I'm going to go do it now, I grab a series of cubes, and then if you shoot the cubes without having hit a wall and then quit to main menu, if you do it fast enough, the game will kind of refund you some of your cubes. I think I didn't have enough cubes for that. The game will essentially refund you some of your cubes, and so you can travel with certain... you can travel to different parts of the map with cubes that you've saved from a previous section. And usually that is obviously a glitch because usually when you go back into the main hub section, when you hit escape and go to a different part of the map, the game will get rid of all your cubes for you. So this is a long-winded end section that we are purely doing because we want to get one sign that's at the very end of this puzzle sequence. And we cube chambered 1 cube through here so we can kind of hopefully just keep going without having to stop moving. But as you can see, I failed it both times. And right in here, we're going to go into a little bit of a cleanup section of the run where we get the last few sign triggers, map triggers, and as well as the pink cubes like this one right here. If you go to this little section area of the chase that we skipped earlier, that we got a sign with earlier, there's actually a pink cube here. We're going to go to Deja Vu, another little area that we saw earlier. We're going to look at this circle. Like I said, whenever you look at these circles, everything that's behind you will just disappear, so we can just use that to solve the puzzle, and instead of having to go through the ceiling. And so right there, we're going to go to get another pink cube. Right here, we're going to get another map trigger at connecting the pieces. We're gonna bring that row of cubes along. I'm gonna try that again and make the cube bridge a little bit lower. Perfect. Great. And we're gonna fill up these cubes. You actually can't cube chamber through here because the door at the end of this little area is actually require you to getting 2 cubes, like you see 1, 2, in order to fill up the door. But cube chambering can only allow you to cube chamber 1 cube at a time. And so it's kind of useless in that sense. We're gonna get a few more map triggers. I accidentally went into lag mode for a bit there. And we're gonna get 1 more map and sign trigger right here. And after this sign and map trigger, there's actually 1 more pink cube that we need to get. And this is the longest pink cube of the game. It's in one of the biggest rooms, and it takes a total of 90 seconds to get. So if Zoners, if you want any donations or anything you want to say, you have 90 seconds starting 2 seconds ago.
Okay. But 90 seconds, that's quite a long time. I don't need to rush. So we got a donation here. We got $8 from Anonymous saying, Antichamber is such a cool game. Glad to see it here at BSG. Yes, indeed. It is pretty cool. And still, if you want to see more Antichamber, there's still the incentive for the bonus any % run, which currently is looking kind of grim. So if somebody's generous in Jet, please get your donations in for the bonus any % run.
Yeah, get that in. Get the donations in. This goes on for quite some time. You can keep going.
I didn't plan that far ahead. So far we raised $320 for Mind, which is super awesome. Like I mentioned, nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issue and to support everybody who's dealing with mental issues themselves or within their families. So if you ever struggled with mental health issues yourself or within your families, you should know that this is a pretty cool what am I trying to say? Charity. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome charity you can donate towards. We've been partnered with Mind for a long time now. So please, it means the world to us. If you can spare any dollar, really counts and is really what do I do? Is worth it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Words are hard. No worries. All right. So what we're doing here, we're doing the last few map and sign triggers, and you probably noticed that there is actually a timer in the main hub section if you had a keen eye, and behind that timer is where the last sign is. So as I'm going here, I do have some bad news. We have to wait here for 1 hour and 9 minutes. So yeah. Zoners, you have quite some time to read out some donations.
1 hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. What we do have is a thing where I just do this. Okay, I have to crash the game. Essentially, the way the timer glitch works is that you clip out of the main hub menu and you collect the last sign that is behind this timer. However, you can't go back to the main hub menu and just finish the game because the game thinks you're still in the main hub menu because you clipped out of it. And so that actually forces you to exit the game and get the sign and finish it manually. And time is coming up in 3, 2, 1. Time! That was time. I'm sorry. It was very late, but it's time. That was the end. And we got 100%. All 13 pink cubes, all of the signs, and you can actually clip out of this little area if you're fast enough before it encapsulates you, but you can just clip back in like this. So that was Antichamber 100%. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you understood any of it, please try and speedrun. I usually get the same reaction, was just like, I don't know what I just saw, but I really liked it. And you know what? If you felt if you felt that sentiment today after watching this match, or after watching this run, I'll take it, and I encourage you to run the game yourself so that you can understand what's going on. And yeah, I did submit an any % incentive, but I did hear you say the lookings of that were kind of grim. How are they looking now? By any chance, did someone snipe in a last minute donation?
Yeah, let's give it a quick last refresh just to be sure.
I'm gonna.
Yep, looking not so good, unfortunately.
All right. Well, if that's the case, you know what? That's perfectly fine. We can just, I hope you guys still enjoyed 100%. And I hope, you know, maybe any percent will show off in another marathon or another BSG in the future if they feel like having this game back. But that has been it from me. I've been Ozmourn. This is Antichamber 100%. I recommend getting the game. It's on Steam. And if you're interested in this game even casually, I highly recommend it. The speedrun is absolutely beautiful. This is so much fun. It's probably like the most interesting, most fun speedrun that I do right now. And I hope that we can get more people interested. The first person to play this has been me in the past 8 years. No one has ran this category in 8 years before I started running it. And so if we can get more people to, that would be great. It's a very complicated speedrun, but I think people will definitely, you know, grab onto it faster than they think they will. So yeah, I've been Ozmourn. This is Antichamber 100%. Join the Discord, look us on Speedrun.com. We really want more people to run this game. So yeah, that has been my time here. Thank you so much to Benelux Speedrunner Gathering for having me on once again. And I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the marathon. Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. Just to give the people a little taste, what's your personal best in any percent? Just so they know what they're missing out here.
My personal best in any percent is 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Yes, you see, that's what you're missing out.
Mm-hmm.
That's super fast. Anyway,
the world record is 43 seconds. So
Jesus Christ.
So yeah.
But yeah, I can only agree with what you said. You should pick up the game on Steam. It's a pretty cool, fun puzzle game. Mm-hmm. And yeah, GG Ozmourn for the run. We will be heading into a quick intermission now, and when we come back, it is time for some Toy Story. To be more exact, it's Toy Story 3, the video game by Steve TV Online. So please don't go anywhere. We will be right back after these few messages.
I love Steve TV Online. Stay tuned for that run. He's an amazing person.
Yes.
Yes.